Hello, Michael. My name is Michael. I'm a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and I wanted to start off. I would like you to listen, please. I try to keep this quick. I want to talk about the video you posted earlier. Now, I want to preface by saying that I am on the complete opposite side of the political spectrum from you. I am a socialist. The way I think about Charlie Kirk, you wouldn't really appreciate it, and we would be fighting on a normal. But I believe this is bigger than the political squabble that we experience day to day, more so now than ever. Going to your video, since that happened, I also felt the same exact way. It was extremely fishy. Before the event even happened, there were already videos of the person laying in prone position on the rooftop. They're wearing black, as you stated, which is ridiculous because the roof is white. Now, I did some digging, did some history, and as we know from Israel in 1967, they attacked the USS Liberty. Now we know Jeffrey Epstein has ties to Mossad, and in 1982, that's when he came into play. People still speculate how he got his wealth. We understand we have the Epstein Files era. So, as we know, there's pedophilia, and we know powerful people in our country are on that list. And there's a very good chance that the person that is sitting in the Oval Office is on that list as well. And of course, this includes all the powerful people in the United States or probably in the world. Now, let's talk about the timeline of events. We know that Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the 10th, and at 3:02 p.m., and this is all still online. Last time I checked, I have screenshots. Both Trump and Netanyahu posted at 3:02 exactly about Charlie Kirk. How did Bibi know? Instantly, and this is before they reported him deceased. This is still when the scrambling, when the initial videos were coming out. I also want to make a mention as to the amount of push that video received on our algorithms. That's the first video that I have seen on any platform get pushed like that, especially like platforms like Instagram and Threads, obviously TikTok. TikTok's usually really good at censoring that kind of stuff, but it was everywhere. Now, as for the shooter, it is reported that he's MAGA, and like I said, we're not doing politicals. We're connecting dots. He is a chronically online individual, definitely an effect of the COVID epidemic, where deep isolation and solitude. We also know that Israel has units where their only goal is to spread misinformation online. They had like fucking videos about that on YouTube and shit. Now, I'm sorry, I keep looking down because I was been sitting here for the last hour before I even saw your video, writing this and connecting dots. Now, Charlie Kirk died on 9/10. What was the next day? 9/11. Bibi has been going on news outlets. I know he was on Newsmax talking about how we need to get into get into it with Iraq. JD Vance came on the online earlier. I don't know what day it was. I saw this. I believe it was on Twitter, talking about how he understands the concern of Americans in getting into another skirmish, into another conflict in the Middle East. But now that they got something built, so they're taking it down. They want to build another thing for a little bit, and it's only going to be a little bit. I can't. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But I'm sure it's circulating. It was like he was on the news. Now, this is where I'm at. I think because of the files, Charlie Kirk was martyred. Now, I'm not sure if you saw the motorcade that Charlie Kirk received. We're not going to talk about that. I do want to talk about the event. Not even 2 months ago, we had a Democratic, an actual elected governor or elected official murdered. Nothing. Politics aside, they were American. They martyred Charlie Kirk on the 10th to incite violence from the right. And we saw this where young white men were rallying together in the streets. We also saw Fox News before the gentleman who was caught, who was allegedly the shooter. We had Fox News saying extremely insightful or inflammatory things. They're coming after us. It's time for us to fight back. I think it is a cover-up to the highest degree, to cover up Trump from the Epstein files, because Charlie Kirk, from my understanding, started to switch his stance, as well as everyone, because pedophilia is wrong, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. And accountability must be had. Now, the reason I come to you, because of your video, and I do believe, and I say this from a quote from the Alien vs. Predator, but I believe it is part of the art of war as well. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And now I say that loosely because we're on two different sides of the aisle. But if we have a foreign government martyring American citizens, no matter how deplorable I think he is, we cannot stand for that. And we cannot stand for that. And that's where I'm at right now. So I do believe you. Even though my politics are completely to the left, I voted socialist, like I said, all the way down the ticket, and I plan to continue moving forward. But that's my right. And I believe these podcasters help incite, because I know sounds like I'm pointing fingers, but I'm just, like you said, critically thinking. And like I said, we know Israel has a unit for cyber misinformation. And it's extremely possible that this cyber unit fed information to right wing influencers, which then led to the fall of extremism. Because right now America is divided. We're a fucking chasm. And like I said, I'm not, I know it sounds like I'm pointing fingers, but I'm just talking. Because, at the end of the day, we're Americans. And right now, this country is fucking on fire. So I do believe you. I do believe it's a bigger hit. It's a bigger cover-up. Because like you said, the day after Trump's playing baseball at Yankee Stadium, believe it was today, he was asked about what he thinks about bringing peace between the left and the right. He said he doesn't care, which is in of itself a huge problem, because we really need to get back. We need to get back to some sort of unity. I was a teenager during 9/11, and I remember how unified we were as a people, and it was beautiful. And I believe that Israel, with the dancing Israelis, I believe they did that just like they did the USS Liberty. And I believe it was covered up because Jeffrey Epstein had sexual blackmail on all of our politicians. And I believe that's why we pay for everything that Israel has. All our tax money goes to Israel. And it's like all of our politicians are locked. They cannot talk negative about Israel. Ted Cruz saying he got his seat just so he can be a fighter for Israel, which, fuck that. I'm American. You're American. But that's what I have. So I don't believe you're crazy, sir. I believe you're 100% right on the money. Putting your barrel back together, first off, on a weapon system, and he ran off the building, had time to do that? No, sir. I don't believe that at all. Even the easiest rifles take some time. With adrenaline, I mean, obviously, the shooter has experience with firing weapons, as he was his whole life involved with them, which is fine. But there's a difference when you shoot a person. Now, thank God, I didn't go to war. I was put in a non-deployable unit, and I thank God that I didn't, honestly, because my brothers and sisters are really fucked up. And it turns out that we went to war for Israel for nothing. So I do believe you, sir. I believe you're right on the money. And I believe that this is to divide us, and they wanted us to do a civil war. They wanted the extreme radicals to go out into the streets and kill leftists and start the civil war, so that Trump can declare martial law, or to keep the eyes off the ball that is the Epstein files. I believe he was martyred. As Israel has been committing a genocide for 2 years, and the whole world is against them now because of that. So yeah.